With a paycheck of $1,354,010 at stake for the winner, here is the storylines to follow this year in Miami. Novak Djokovic, photo by Chrysaline Cayo, copyright at Sport Vision. 2019 marks the dawn of a new era for the 35th edition of the Miami Open. From this year, the event will be hosted at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens after previously being held in Key Biscayne for 21 years. The venue is known best as the home to NFL team Miami Dolphins and will host the prestigious Super Bowl in 2020. Following its development into a tennis venue, a temporary 14,000-capacity premier court has been built within the stadium. There are also 27 further courts built around it. The men's draw for the tournament took place on Monday with plenty's interest surrounding the top names in the sport. Here are 5 things to following throughout the Masters 1000 tournament. Novak's shot at history. Novak Djokovic is the most successful player in the history of the tournament alongside Andre Agassi with 6 titles each. This year he will be bidding to become the most decorated male player in the history of the Miami Open with a 7th title. The world number 1 will be keen to make up for a disappointing run in Indian Wells, where he was stunned in the 3rd round by Philipp Kohlschreiber, making it the first time he has failed to reach at least the quarterfinals of an event since the Canadian Open in August. "I'm going to have Marian Vida, my coach, joining us in Miami," Djokovic told reporters last week. "There is plenty of time until my first singles match there. Things to work on, without a doubt. I'm not at my highest level. I know that. But I'm slowly building, and hopefully I'll be able to peak in Miami." Whilst it is expected that the Serbian will rapidly recover from his recent misfortunes, he needs to keep his guard up in the draw. Djokovic's opening match could be against Tomas Berdych, who he defeated in 25 out of their 28 meetings. Providing Berdych defeats the unpredictable Bernard Tomic in his opening match. Further, in the draw, the top seed could face challenges from John Millman and Roberto Bautista Agut. Although there are other threats lurking in his section, including defending champion John Isner being a possible quarterfinal opponent. Djokovic's potential route to Miami title, if seeds hold, listing top 4 potential seeds QF and beyond, R2 Berdych, Tomic, R3 Millman, R16 Bautista Agut, Fonini Kisner, Raonic, Edmund, Puyev Thiem, Nishikori, Coric, Monfils, Zverev, Federer, Anderson, Tsitsipas. Now, March 19, 2019, Djokovic currently has a win-loss record of 42-6 in the tournament. He made his debut back in 2006. Federer on course for Wawrinka test after being denied the Indian Wells title by Dominic Thiem. Roger Federer aims to get back on track. He will be hoping that history will not repeat itself after getting knocked out in the 2nd round of the tournament 12 months ago. "Everybody's got to get used to center court or the conditions at the new site. I'm eager to find out how it's going to be like," the 3-time champion said about the new venue. "I feel really good, so why shouldn't I go into the tournament and to the event confident? But then again, we'll see what the draw is like. We will see how I feel in 6 days. There is still a lot of open question marks. Federer's path to the title could see him lock horns once again with Stan Wawrinka in the 3rd round, a player he defeated in straight sets only last week. He could start against Australia's Matthew Ebden, who plays a qualifier in his opening match. "I'm going to Miami. The body is perfectly fine. That also always keeps me upbeat, and I feel it's a privilege when I feel this way leading a tournament." Making his debut back in 1999, Federer has won 50 main draw matches at the tournament and last won the title in 2017. Federer's potential route to the title in Miami, if seeds hold, listing top 4 potential seeds QF and beyond, R2 Ebden, qualifier 3 Wawrinka, 16 Medvedev, Schwartzman, Anderson, Kachanov, Dimitrov, Johnson, SF Zverev, Tsitsipas, Cilic, Chukanative, Djokovic, Thiem, Nishikori, Isner. Tennis Now at Tennis. Now, March 19, 2019 Thiem Sunshine double bid. Fresh off winning his maiden Masters 1000 title, Dominic Thiem is aiming to continue his winning momentum. After a lackluster start to the season due to illness, the Austrian defeated four-seeded players en route to the Indian Wells title, including his third career win over Federer. What makes me happy that I turned pretty bad start to the season to a very good one. I'm back in the top 8 in the race. I'm 4 in the rankings, which is my best ranking. So I turned it from really bad into really good, said Thiem. Thiem now has the chance of achieving the Sunshine Double, where a player wins both Indian Wells and Miami within the same month. The milestone is a rare occurrence in the sport. In fact, only 7 men and 3 women has achieved it. Thiem's draw has ensured that he will play nobody ranked higher than 16th seed Gael Monfils until at least the quarterfinal stage. Monfils is currently recovering from an Achilles injury. The 25-year-old has only made it to the quarterfinals of Miami in 1 out of 4 attempts. However, it has been reported by some that the courts at the Hard Rock venue are slower, something that favors Thiem's game. The next-gen clan 20-year-old Stefanos Tsitsipas didn't have a pleasant experience in his first match as a top 10 player, losing in straight sets to Felix Auger-Aliassime, who is another rapidly rising star of the men's game. Seeking to make up for it in Miami, Tsitsipas will be playing in a Masters 1000 main draw for only the 12th time in his career. Seated 8th in the draw, the Greek is hoping to reach the quarterfinal of a Masters event for only the 2nd time in his career. In order to do that, he may need to overcome either Denis Shapovalov or Marin Cilic in the 3rd round. He could play fellow next-gen player Hugo Humbert in his opening match if the Frenchman wins his first-round match against a yet-to-be-decided qualifier. 28th seed Frances Tiafoe and the youngest American player in the top 100. He faces a potentially tricky start to his campaign. Awaiting him will be either former French Open semi-finalist Ernest Gulbis or ex-junior world number 1 Miomir Kekmanovic. Kekmanovic was a surprised quarter-finalist in Indian Wells. List next-gen players in the top 100 with C. the 18th of March 2019, 57 Felix Auger-Aliassime 18 yes 23 Denis Shapovalov 19 yes 95 Miomir Kekmanovic 19 yes 10 Stefanos Tsitsipas 20 yes 26 Alex de Minaur 20 number 63 Hugo Humbert 20 yes 98 Casper Ruud 20 yes 3 Alexander Zverev 21 yes 34 Frances Tiafoe 21 yes 56 Taylor Fritz 21 yes 58 Riley Opelka 21 yes 61 John Mooner 21 yes 99 Andrei Rublev 21 yes Crunch time for 2018 finalists. Reigning champion Isner and runner-up Alexander Zverev will be feeling the pressure in the tournament. Isner, who has won 1 title since his triumph in Miami 12 months ago, is defending 1,000 points. Meanwhile, Zverev is defending 600. Isner has enjoyed a solid start to 2019 by winning 10 out of 16 matches player, reaching the semi-finals of 3 consecutive tournaments before losing in the 3rd round at Indian Wells to Karen Khachanov. Nevertheless, Isner must advance to at least the semi-finals in Miami to have a chance of remaining in the world's top 10, a position he has held since September 10, 2018. Meanwhile, Zverev has already contested a final on the tour this season at the Mexican Open in Acapulco. However, the German has been hindered by illness recently and looked far from his best during his latest match on the tour. This year Isner is seeded 7th and Zverev 2nd. Trouble is brewing off the court for the Australian Open champion. Naomi Osaka, photo by Chrysaline Kayo, copyright at Sport Vision. World number 1 Naomi Osaka has sought help from a prestigious New York lawyer to help fight a lawsuit that has been launched by one of her former coaches. Christophe Jean, who coached Osaka and her sister Mari during their teenage years, is claiming that he is owed thousands. According to a report by the Sun Sentinel, a one-page contract was signed between Jean and Osaka's father in March 2012. It is alleged that in the document it says that Jean is entitled to 20% of the prize money and endorsements owned by the Osaka sisters for an indefinite period, seeking an estimated $2 million in compensation. Jean has said that he was reluctant to hire a lawyer, saying that he was told to buy Osaka's dad, who is known by friends as Max. Jean said that it was Max who persuaded him to coach his daughters. At the time, Osaka's parents didn't have a lot of money and couldn't afford top-level coaches. I didn't want to do this, but the last time I talked with Max he told me to go get a lawyer. Jean told the Sun Sentinel. So I got a lawyer. Jean grew up in southern Haiti close to where Osaka's father lived. During his time working with two-time Grand Slam champion Naomi, Jean said he worked on her fitness, describing her as fat at the time. She was fat, he said of Naomi. I had them do a lot of running, a lot of exercise. Responding to the lawsuit, the world #1 has hired Alex Spiro, a renowned lawyer from New York who has previously worked alongside rapper Jay-Z, businessman Robert Kraft and a series of players from the NBA. One of his most notable cases was getting former NFL player Aaron Hernandez acquitted of double-a-double homicide in Boston. While it comes as no surprise that Naomi's meteoric rise as an international icon and inspiration would lead to some false claim, the silly contract that Naomi never saw or signed, which purports to give away part of herself at the age of 14, is particularly absurd, Spiro said in a statement. This case has no merit and we will move past it. Osaka is currently coached on the tour by Jermaine Jenkins, who is the former hitting partner of Venus Williams. She ended working with Sasha Bajan earlier this year, but insisted that money didn't play a part. Everyone thinks it was a money-related issue, but it wasn't, she said. I wouldn't put success over my happiness. I'm not going to sacrifice that just to keep a person around. That's one of the most hurtful things I've ever heard. So far in her career, the 21-year-old has won 2 Grand Slam titles, as well as the 2018 Indian Wells Open. Her current prize money stands at $10,839,756, according to the WTA. Osaka is yet to comment in public about the lawsuit. She will return to action later this week at the Miami Open, where she will be the top seed. Endorsed Gunther Bresnik, the two-time Olympic champion, could become a permanent figure in Thiem's team. What a turnaround that past week and a half have been for Austrian #1 Dominic Thiem. The 25-year-old entered the first Masters 1000 event of 2019, winning only 3 out of 7 matches played in 2019. Hampered by illness in recent weeks, it has been a far from ideal start to the season. Nevertheless, it all came together at the BNP Paribas Open in Indian Wells. After seeing off competition from big servers such as Ivo Kolovic and Milos Raonic, Thiem recorded one of the biggest victories of his career on Sunday. Taking on 20-time Grand Slam champion Roger Federer, he battled back from a set down to win, becoming the first Austrian to win a Masters tournament since Thomas Muster at the 1997 Lipton Championships, an event now known as the Miami Open. It feels just unreal what happened in those 10 days during the tournament. I came from a really bad form in all categories, and now I'm the champion of Indian Wells. It feels not real at all. A delighted Thiem commented about his win. Watching from the sidelines in Indian Wells was the latest addition to Thiem's team, Nicolas Massou, a former top 10 player who won 2 gold medals at the 2004 Olympic Games. The two got acquainted earlier this year during Austria's Davis Cup tie with Chile in January. A few weeks later, an agreement was put into place for a test period following another meeting during the Argentina Open. Their collaboration has been a resounding success so far, with Thiem crediting the Chilean for the positive impact he has had. Since retiring, Masu has worked as the captain of his country's Davis Cup team. It's amazing to have him in the box because he's so motivated. He puts the motivation on myself on the court. That's great, Thiem said of the 39-year-old. Beside the matches, we had a great intensity in the practices before Indian Wells. Because in like 12-13 days, he got me from physically not in good shape, tennis-wise not in good shape, to an Indian Wells champion. That's an amazing achievement also by him. The original agreement was for Masu to remain until the Miami Masters, which begins later this week. Although that may now be extended according to the principal coach of Thiem, Gunther Bresnik. We'll talk later, but I would be very surprised if he did not stay after this success. He has an enormously positive charisma, Bresnik told Courier.at. Bresnik, who has coached Thiem for more than a decade, has been a vocal supporter of Masu's inclusion, previously describing him as an extremely positive phenomenon during an interview with Tennis.net.com on March 5. He knows his way around elite sports, and he also has a certain carefreeness that is important for success, stated Bresnik. Following his win in Indian Wells, Thiem has risen to 4th in the world rankings, his highest position since November 2017. The rising star ended 2018 ranked 178th in the world. Now she has won one of the most prestigious tournaments on the WTA Tour. Bianca Andreescu, photo by Chrysaline Caio, copyright It's Fourth Vision. If somebody said a year ago that Canada's Bianca Andreescu would win the Indian Wells title at the age of 18, they would have most likely been called mad. At times she was ranked outside of the top 200 and battling for points at ITF events across Japan. Even though many knew she was a big talent following a successful junior career, few expected her to rise up the ranks so rapidly, making her breakout on the Pro Tour in 2019 even more spectacular. It all started at the ASB Classic in New Zealand at the start of the year. Fighting her way through qualifying, Andreescu stunned the draw with wins over top 10 players Caroline Wozniacki and Venus Williams. She would go on to reach the final of the tournament before losing to Julia Gorges. Suddenly the WTA Tour was starting to pay attention to the threat posed by the two-time junior Grand Slam champion in doubles. Gaining in momentum, Andreescu's meteoric rise peaked on Sunday at the BNP Paribas Open. Accepting a wild card into the tournament, the teenager stunned former world number 1 Angelique Kerber in 3 sets to win her maiden WTA title, becoming the first wild card in history to do so and the youngest player since Serena Williams back in 1999. I'd like to thank BNP Paribas for giving me this opportunity. Without them I wouldn't be in this situation right now. I'm beyond grateful for that, she said during her press conference. It's incredible to have my name beside so many incredible champions. It's a dream come true. The most appealing thing about Andreescu's game is her ability to mix up her shot selection. Against Kerber, she frustrated her with a combination of delicate drop shots and deep-hitting backhands towards the baseline, preventing Kerber from maintaining her rhythm in the match. She played the whole tournament good. I know that I had to play my best tennis. At the end I was not able to take my chances, but she did it, Kerber said of the Canadian. Bianca Andreescu has done it. The 18-year-old Angelique Kerber 6-4, 3-6, 6-4 to become the first WC ever to win the title in Indian Wells. What a fantastic start to the season. Auckland Final, Q, US Open R2, Q, Newport Beach 125K Trophy Acapulco's Indian Wells Trophy 28-3 with L. In 2018 at the same tournament it was Naomi Osaka in the limelight. At the same event she won her maiden title on the women's tour. Osaka would then go on to win back-to-back major titles and become Asia's first ever #1 player. It's definitely inspiring seeing her claim the trophy last year, and winning 2 Grand Slams right after that has been amazing to see, she said of the current #1. I don't really want to focus on the future right now. I just want to enjoy this moment, because I don't want to take anything for granted. You never know what next week brings. I just want to savor this. One of the most striking things about Andreescu's play is how mature she appears to be on the court and how well she reads the game. Admittedly, against Kerber, there were moments of her having a teenage tantrum. However, she was mainly composed and professional throughout, contributing to an expanding fan base and praise from top figures in the sport. One of those admirers is Martina Navratilova, somebody who is deemed as one of the greatest female tennis players of all time. Speaking on BT Sport about the rising star, she drew parallels between her and Andy Murray. She still has a way to go to play like him, but she is definitely on that trajectory, said Navratilova. She's got all the goods, she just believes in herself. What she can improve the most is the forehand. It gets a little off when she gets nervous. Physical fitness, that will just happen. She'll become more match tough. She's got really great hands, knows when to use what shots. Her tennis IQ, shot selection is really outstanding. Murray was 21 before he won his first Masters 1000 title, the male equivalent to the premier mandatory events on the WTA Tour. A product of Canada's rise in the sport in recent times, it has been Andreescu's compatriot, Milos Raonic, who has been flying the flag for his country in the world on tennis. However, with a rapid rise in teenage stars emerging from the North American country, Andreescu belongs to a group of stars in the making. Alongside Denis Shapovalov and Felix Auger-Aliassime. Unreal at Andreescu_face screaming in fear, face screaming in fear. Way too good. First of many flexed biceps, flexed biceps, flexed biceps. Congrats girl. In 2017 the federation named her Player of the Year. Sylvain Bruneau, who is the current head of women's tennis for Tennis Canada, serves as Andreescu's coach. It's easy to get distracted, Bruneau told the New York Times earlier in the week. But it's going to be part of my work to make sure she stays in the moment. Trying to get the 18-year-old to stay composed may be easier said than done. She exits Indian Wells with a paycheck of $1.3 million, rising to a ranking high of 24th after ending 2018 at 178th in the world. Everyone's victory in Canada gives each one of us motivation and inspiration to also do well. If they can do it, we can, she said. I think this win will definitely give many people confidence, young athletes, maybe aspiring athletes also. And I'm just 18, so if I can do it, they can. Andreescu is without a doubt a star in the making, but it remains to be seen how great she can become.